Hello, it's me, French Ted, and we are here. Oh, I'm so excited for our first episode of the AEW All In Grand Prix, also known as episode 0. But this, of course, is episode number 65 of our AEW TEW series. But I'm kind of building this, and I'm going to be booking this as an extension to the AEW series. More will be explained in due course, but this is the new big tournament. You know, the Owen Hart Cup's been and gone. The other tournaments I've done, been and gone. This is the tournament, and depending on how long I do this AEW series for, this will be the big tournament that will be held each year. Now, I've kind of kept my cards close to my chest and haven't revealed much because I wanted to kind of reveal everything in this episode. But to kind of summarize what the All In Grand Prix is, imagine the G1 but in AEW. That's essentially, in a nutshell, what it's going to be. And in this episode, we are going to go through the full tournament rules, how it's going to work, the layout of the tournament, because so as they do in the G1, there's going to be like a night 1, night 2, night 3, etc., which will be separate entities to Dynamite and Collision. So how it's going to look, how it's going to book, who's going to be in it, what the prize is, among many other things. So maybe instead of me wasting time and us looking at this beautiful, yet simple, yet elegant logo, let's jump into the next graphic that I have, which details all of the rules that you need to know. So let's just jump into that. Okay, looks like a lot of text. Don't worry, I'll read it out for you and I'll add more to it. So the first rule, or information, is that 20 of the best and most exciting wrestlers will compete in this tournament. Just before we move on to the next point, it was so hard to get this down to 20 wrestlers. Like, unbelievably hard. There are some big names that didn't make it to this tournament, and my thinking behind that is a lot of the names in this tournament will be busy, or their storylines will now kind of skew towards the All In Grand Prix, because this tournament's going to last almost a month. So the people that aren't in it, they will hopefully still have their own storylines, or any big names that aren't in it and don't have a storyline, that can be the focus on Dynamite, Collision, etc. Anyways, next point is that there will be 2 blocks, Block A and Block B, which will consist of a mixture of talent from both Dynamite and Collision. So there's not a Dynamite block and a Collision block. It will just be a Block A and a Block B, and as mentioned or hinted at prior, the All-In matches the Grand Prix matches will feature on their own shows. So that means we will be having, an All-In show as well as Dynamite and Collision. As you can see, a little bit further down, I think it says that. Yeah, let's just keep reading because I'm getting ahead of myself. The tournament will follow a round-robin format where each competitor will face every member in their block once. So we've got 2 blocks, 20 wrestlers. So that's 10 in each block. So every wrestler will have 9 matches each. If my maths is correct, that is 90 matches in total. So 45 in Block A, 45 in Block B. So in less than a month, because I think it's a 3-week tournament, we will have 90 matches, or 91 including the final. A win in this equals 2 points, a draw will equal 1 point, and a loss will equal no points. So I was going to do like 3-1-0, kind of like how you do in football, but I think the 2-1-0 will make everything a little bit closer and a bit more dramatic, because obviously if someone's getting back to back wins and a couple people have got like a draw, there'll be a bigger gulf. But with the 2-1-0 format, I think that keeps everything closer and a little bit more unpredictable. Each match will have a 20-minute time limit, so no match can exceed 20 minutes, and reaching this results in a draw. So if they go past the 20 minutes, obviously the bell will ring and it will be a time limit draw. So with the people that we have in this match and the length that some of our matches are, I reckon there will be a couple of draws in this tournament. All matches will take place outside of AEW Dynamite and AEW Collision. So we will still have Dynamite and Collision, but in between those, there will be all-in Grand Prix shows. So night 1, night 2, etc. The winner of each block after 12 nights of action will face each other at the AEW All-In Grand Prix Final, which will be a special pay-per-view event, which will have other matches, not just the final match. There'll be we'll be building title matches, things like that as well. So that will be our next upcoming pay-per-view. And then the overall winner of the All-In Grand Prix will be guaranteed the main event spot at AEW All Out in September, I think it is. And they will be able to challenge for an AEW World Championship of their choice. So obviously the World Heavyweight Championship is our kind of main prize, but the World Light Heavyweight Championship can also be chosen. For example, you know, Bryan Danielson is our current champion who defeated Daniel Garcia. For example, if Daniel Garcia was in this tournament, he might want revenge on Bryan Danielson, you know. But they don't have to make their choice immediately. They do have to make it, you know, sooner rather than later, because then we can start building a story for that. But it's not going to be like, here's your trophy, who are you facing? But it's likely that, you know, most people will go for the World Heavyweight. Either way, those are the tournaments. So just to kind of break it down, there is going to be a slight schedule change. Our videos for the next forever are going to be a little bit shorter, I think, because obviously night 1, so the official night 1 of the All-In Grand Prix is going to be its own episode, as will night 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and obviously the final will all be their own episodes. So that's going to stretch things out a little bit. I don't want to stretch it out too much. And because the shows are... actually, let me jump to our schedule in TEW now, and I will show you there. So where is schedule? I'll have it pop up in a moment. I've gone blind. Here we go. So yeah, look in here. You can see... Holy shit, we've got a load of stuff going on here. So the All-In Grand Prix Night 1 begins in Monday, week 2, May. So we've still got 1 week left of Dynamite and Collision, and then the Grand Prix starts Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, every week for the rest of May will have an All-In match. So that means that there'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. That means there'll be 6 AEW events a week, or shows a week, including Dynamite and Collision. So we're gonna have to break them up. So for example, this is episode 65. 66 is gonna be our regular Dynamite Collision. 67 is gonna be night 1. 68 will be night 2. 69 will be Dynamite. 70 will be night 3. 71 night 4. 72 Collision. So Dynamite and Collision will be split up for now, but what I'll do is I'll kind of throw my current schedule out the window, where I'm currently doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The LLW series will stay on Wednesdays, but with AEW I'll just do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, just to kind of speed this process along. But yeah, so that's the confirmed schedule. Just more content for you guys, so you're welcome. But just heading back to the tournament rules, here we are. Yeah, that's all the rules. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer. But basically, it's G1, but in AEW. And the next thing to confirm is the participants for the All-In Grand Prix. We will be going through AEW All-In's A bracket first, or the A block, as we're going to call it. And then we'll go through the B block. And I think if you guys are, you know, keen listeners to when I chat shit during these episodes, a couple of weeks ago, I mentioned that we were cooking and we were looking to bring in some big names. We managed to bring in one of those big names, who is able to join the All-In Grand Prix. The other name we did also manage to bring in, but they will be joining a little bit too late for my liking, so they will just be thrown on the roster and probably in a cool storyline. So yeah, there is a name that I'm very excited about announcing in this bracket. So let's not waste any more time. Let's go through the 20 participants for the All In Grand Prix. The first participant in Block A is Darby Allin. We knew that. We knew that Darby Allin was in it. He won the Battle Royale at Collision. I thought I'd start with him just to get him out of the way. So we're going to go through Block A first. So Darby Allin is the first competitor taking part in the All In Grand Prix. Next up in Block A is Rock Hard Juice Robinson. Yep, the Juice is in. And he has definitely had a new lease of life in the last couple of weeks and months, having a really good match with CM Punk. His character work, his charisma, his microphone skills, they've all just been raising like crazy recently. And I think he can do something special in this tournament. The third member of Block A, though, is Drew Galloway. After being suspended and coming back, joining up with Jake Roberts in the Roberts family, Drew Galloway looks nastier and more fierce than he has in a long time. So I think this is his opportunity to prove his worth and, to get noticed. So yeah, Drew Galloway is the third member. Moving on to the fourth member. It is our Owen Hart Cup winner, Will Ospreay, the man that fell at the final hurdle against Jon Moxley. He is here and he has got G1 experience. Or as does Juice, to be fair. He's got G1 experience, and has he ever won the G1? I don't think he has. I think he's come close. But yeah, man's going to be great in this. He is in Block A. The 5th member of Block A is Miro. Miro is here. He is dominant. He is fierce. His numbers have been crazy. So yeah, he's going to be an awesome person and one to watch, in my opinion. The sixth, I think, 6th member in Block A is an interesting one. A recently recalled, or should I say promoted, because we signed them for Ring of Honor. It is the King of Deathmatch, the King of the Indies, the Indie Taker, Matt Cardona. I tell you what, Matt Cardona has been putting in numbers in Ring of Honor. A former Ring of Honor TV champion who recently lost it to AR Fox, mainly because I did the prepare to call up option. Matt Cardona is here and he is on the main roster, and I'm very excited to see what he can do. Following the inclusion of Matt Cardona, our seventh member is Bandido. Bandido is definitely a sleeper hit. I mean, this boy has been putting in 80 plus performances for as long as I can remember. But it always seems to be the Hangman Page show. So I think this is now Bandido's chance to show that he's not just Hangman Page's amigo. He is a beast in his own right. And I'm very excited to see what this man can do. All right, we are on to pick number 8 for the A block. And it is Zack Sabre Jr. Zack Sabre Jr. again putting in mad numbers, but not really doing much with it. Seems to be kind of a forgotten man in the Combat Club right now, especially with Shane Haste coming in. Wheeler Yuta, I think, is still out injured. So yeah, it's a weird time for the Combat Club, and I think this is Zack Sabre Jr.'s chance to kind of, show what he can do and get himself elevated to the next level. Our 9th person for the All In Grand Prix Block A is the Switchblade, Jay White. Jay White being in the same block as Juice Robinson. CM Punk saying at Battle of the Belts, Juice is your problem, you deal with him. And at some point, they are going to have to deal with each other in singles action in Block A. So we've got to 9 members of Block A. We are about to reveal our 10th member. And if any of you have guessed who this is, I will tip my hat to you. I will give you my channel. The 10th member of the AEW All In Grand Prix Block A is Walter. Yes, you heard me right. Walter, formerly known as Gunther in WWE, is All Elite. He signed on the dotted line literally yesterday. and he is here. He is making way too much money, and he just starts. His debut will be in the All In Grand Prix, and I'm very, very excited to use this man. It's really funny because as soon as I won the bidding war between me and WWE, WWE booked him on every single show and had him lose to Shanky, which is hilarious because the Shanky matches were getting pretty good results. Even though Gunther was losing all of them, he was still carrying it with like 80 plus performances. And if he can do that in WWE, mate, I'm really hoping he doesn't pull a Shinsuke on us, because if he does, I'm gonna be so upset. But that's the big reveal, or is it the last one? Oh, who knows? Actually, Matt Cardona's a big reveal. Don't leave Matt Cardona alone. He's a dark horse in my opinion. Yeah, Walter is here under the name Walter, his original name. And yeah, he's gonna slap some chests and boot some faces and likely dominate a handful of matches. So that is our block A. We will summarize all of the blocks at the end of this, but now we are jumping into block B, and the first member of block B is Kenny Omega. This, I believe, is Kenny Omega's chance to kind of peel away from the Golden Lovers and prove that he is a single star. He hasn't really had a chance to be a single star in our entire series. He went for the Trios Gold with the Elite. All of his matches were kind of Elite focused, and then they broke off and he became a Golden Lover. He hasn't really had that chance to be a single star, and now with the All In Grand Prix, he has at least 9 matches to prove that he is, you know, the best wrestler in the world. Second in block B is the current AEW World Heavyweight Champion, Jon Moxley. Now, I was umming and ahhing about whether to include the world champion in this, but there's no guarantee that Jon Moxley will be the world champion by the time All Out comes around. So if he should win this tournament, he guarantees his main event spot, whether he is champion or not. And as a little extra bit of spice, if the world champion does win this tournament, he will get to choose his opponent at AEW All Out. After this, though, the third pick for the B block is Jeff Cobb. Mr. Inform Jeff Cobb, the man who said in the last episode, I want Moxley one-on-one. Nigel McGuinness and Tony Khan have granted that in the form of the Grand Prix. They will get their match at some point throughout this tournament, and I'm very much looking forward to it. The fourth member of the B block is Hangman Adam Page. Him and Kenny are going to go one-on-one again in this block, and they do also have their world tag team title match booked in, but I'm afraid that will have to wait because the Grand Prix takes, precedent, especially with Bandido in the A block, Kenny in the B block, and Hangman Page also in the B block. The fifth, the fifth member is our AEW International Champion, Limitless Keith Lee, looking like a badass in his cloak. This man has just become unbeatable in my eyes. Like, he ragdolls men the same size as him for the fun of it. He's defeated Drew Galloway one-on-one. He defeated Pentagon. He defeated Ray Fenix. He defeated Pac, Pentagon, and Ray Fenix at once. I mean, I can't see anyone stopping him, but, the B block participants are going to have to do their best. Speaking of being ragdolled, our next entrant in this block is Pac. Pac is here. Pac is one of the best wrestlers on our roster. He always gets to the top of the mountain and then doesn't manage to put his flag down. So maybe this can be his chance to cement that top position that he has been aching for the longest time. The next participant, which I believe is the seventh participant, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, seventh participant in B block is Bryan Danielson, our new AEW World Light Heavyweight Champion. And similarly with Jon Moxley, should he win, He can obviously challenge for the world heavyweight. Moxley can't challenge for the light heavyweight. He can challenge for the world heavyweight if he wants to, or he can just retain his title until All Out, and then choose his opponent should he wish to. So, you know, champions do kind of get a slight advantage in this should they win the tournament, but, you know, they got to win the tournament first, so there's not really an advantage for anyone in that. The 8th participant for Block B is Prince Devitt. Prince Devitt is the 8th one in this block, and you know what, looking at it now, this is a spicy little block, not gonna lie. There are some big names in this. Prince Devitt losing to MJF hasn't really done a great deal since, but we know that that boy's got talent, and yeah, he's gonna prove it, or try to prove it, in this block. Pick number 9 for the B block is not only the best Buck, but the only Buck that is actively wrestling, because Matt is still out injured. It is Nick Jackson. Nick Jackson, who has just been on a roll, let's be honest, since the inception of the World Light Heavyweight Tournament, which kind of planted that seed in his head that he is a single star, has gone on to prove that in countless 5-star matches in my eyes. And this is his chance. He was not included in the Owen Hart Cup, which pissed him off, but he is definitely included in the All In Grand Prix, and this is his chance to prove himself. Now, the final pick for Block B was a tough one. It was someone that I wanted to, someone who's not really been seen as a main event star, but someone I think has everything needed to get to that next level. And I thought this is the best way to test someone. And it is none other than 1/3 of our World Trios Champions, Roosh. Roosh is included and the final participant in Block B for our All-In Grand Prix. And yeah, hopefully he puts in some stellar matches, because he's got a plethora of amazing talent in front of him. So yeah, that is our blocks finalized. I'm just going to show you the current standings, because obviously everyone is on 0 points. Let's just take a look at that now. Here we go. We have got Block A down this side. Walter, Jay White, Zack Sabre Jr., Bandido, Matt Cardona, Miro, Will Ospreay, Drew Galloway, Juice Robinson, and Darby Allin. And in Block B, we've got Kenny Omega, John Moxley, Jeff Cobb, Hangman Adam Page, Keith Lee, Pac, Bryan Danielson, Prince Devitt, Nick Jackson, and Roosh. 2 of these men, one from Block A and one from Block B, will go on to the Grand Prix final, and the winner will earn the main event spot at AEW All Out. I know there's a lot of big names here that aren't included, and I think I had a list of 28 or 29 when I first built the shortlist, and then I was thinking, oh, storyline reasons, he can come out. So there's a few omissions, and there are some that kind of annoy me. There was a part of me that wanted to bring Adam Cole back up, but I didn't want to risk him being subpar and dragging matches down. Obviously, there is that risk with Walter and Matt Cardona as well, but hey-ho, you never know. Takeshita almost made it in here. Who else almost made it? I was going to put one of FTR in here, maybe Cash, just to see what he could do, but again, it's a risk. Carl Fletcher almost made it. He's been putting in mad numbers. Hook was also an option, but I quite like Hook just being this entity that appears every now and then for now. Daniel Garcia was so close to being in this. I almost swapped him out for Bryan Danielson. Who else? MJF was almost in this, but then I kind of like the story of MJF being like, what, wrestle 5 days a week? No thanks. So that's going to be probably an angle in our next show. CM Punk as well. CM Punk's not included in this. I think CM Punk is going to become more of an overseer of Bullet Club Gold, and he'll be like a big match boy that will just, you know, pop up every now and then. But yeah, there's a few names that I was considering that I didn't put in. Obviously, there's so many more. Our roster is more than stacked, and building this tournament made me realize how stacked it actually is. But yeah, that is the end of this one. I don't know how long it's been running for. These are the standings. The first round will be not the next episode, but the episode after, because we've got a regular week of Dynamite and Collision, potentially hyping this up. Might do some fun random like 6-man tag matches of participants just to see what happens. And yeah, the following episode after that will be night 1 of the All In Grand Prix. I'm looking to do around 7 to 8 matches a night, mixing up between Block A and Block B, because I think it's like 7.5 divided by 90 or whatever the other way around results in about 12 nights of wrestling. So I really hope I've planned that correctly. But yeah, that is the All In Grand Prix. Let me know your thoughts on it. Let me know who you think's winning in Block A and Block B. Let me know what matches you're excited for. And yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye. Yeah.